Take a deep breath. Tune into the beating of your heart and awaken to a fresh perspective. Welcome to See More with Morcie, your go-to podcast for a fresh perspective on your spiritual and entrepreneurial journey. Hey, entrepreneur, be kinder to yourself. You've chosen to walk a path of unknowns and uncertainty. The least you could do is show yourself grace, show yourself compassion. This path, it requires a level of knowing when to let go, when to surrender. And the kindness that you give yourself, the compassion that you offer yourself is exactly what will open the door to allowing you to surrender to the process. Many times throughout this process, you'll find that the mind, it's looking for certainty, it's looking for assuredness, it's looking to know that if you take a break, you know that everything's going to be okay with your business. That if you make a certain decision, you feel a sense of certainty of what will come next. And while having that certainty and that level of control, it holds importance, it can also take over when you're not aware enough, when you're unconscious to how much this need for control and certainty is taking over this process. Life is filled with inevitable counterparts, certainty and uncertainty, knowns and unknowns. And so when you recognize when you're being too hard on yourself, when you recognize when your expectations are far too high, that's an awareness of knowing, I'm trying to hold on to too much control. I need to let go. I need to be kind. Growth, it's not linear. That's something that the mind has created for safety so that you feel a sense of assuredness in your next step. And once again, it's helpful. But at the same time, it's recognizing that growth is not linear and being open to all possibilities of how the events in your life can unfold, the intentions that you've set for your business, how it can unfold. When you allow yourself to be open to the infinite possibilities for how your intentions can unfold, you're surrendering, you're letting go. You're stepping into a space of effortless action. You're honoring the law of least effort. Nature never hurries, but it's always on time. You find that you're embodying nature. You find that you are embodying the natural flow of going through the seasons of life. In recognition that you are doing the best you can. If you find that in this moment you don't think you're doing the best you can, there's an aspect of you that is far too hard on yourself. An aspect of you that is setting expectations that are not realistic. You're doing the best you can. We're all doing the best we can. You're listening to this message because there's a part of you that really wants to do the best that you can. And you know that a part of doing the best you can is being kinder to yourself, being more compassionate, shifting that voice in the mind, that guide in the mind, having a more uplifting approach, a more relaxed approach. This relaxed approach is what allows you to surrender. It was what allows you to sink into your authenticity. Allowing each moment to unfold as it's meant to, right? Diving into that intuitive compass. This road, it's filled with unknowns. It's filled with uncertainties. And you, entrepreneur, you are a natural leader. A natural leader that must tune into your compass, your intuitive compass. This requires silence. This requires stillness, spaciousness, to recognize what the next step is for you. You've chosen this path because you've recognized that the cookie cutter path that is out there is not meant for you. You know that you have a mindset where you can make a way for yourself. You can make a living for yourself without having to follow someone else's rules or standards or directions. There's an aspect of you that is aware of that. And that's why you've chosen this path. But every path comes with its struggle. Every path comes with its pain. It doesn't matter what you choose. You could choose to have a boss and not have a boss. There's going to be something. And on this path, it's so important to give yourself grace and compassion and to be kind. To affirm to yourself that you're doing the best you can. And also to be dedicated to silence, to stillness and spaciousness, being dedicated to your spiritual journey. Because building this business, this entrepreneur, is a part of your spiritual journey. Instead of thinking it of work-life balance, you can see it as work-life integration. The way you treat this moment is how you'll treat any other moment. The way you treat any aspect of your life is how you treat every aspect of your life. Have you ever heard the quote, how you do one thing is how you do everything? So when you begin to choose to surrender into this aspect of your life, you'll see what it looks like in your personal relationships. You'll see what it looks like in your physical health. You'll see what it looks like in your meditation sessions. I've found that what has truly helped me when it comes to positive self-talk, being kinder, more compassionate, letting go of those high, unrealistic expectations, is being non-reactive to the voice in the mind. Whether it's an uplifting voice, whether it's a domineering voice, positive or negative, that skill of non-reactivity will take you far, will provide you longevity in every aspect of your life. Even being here in this space right now. Allowing what's next and what's to come, what message you're about to receive next to come to you without trying to rush to receive what's coming, right? Just being here in this space fully. I found that the practice of observing thought, non-reactive to thought, and sinking into stillness has offered that space of being more kind. It's raised my vibration. And I've created a course called Beyond the Chatter that does just that. I share with you inspirational messages and guided meditations that you can listen to. Get comfortable. Grab a cup of tea. Sit down in a place of comfort. Rest. Listen to these messages. And allow yourself to sink in to being. And I've also created and wrote a book in there specifically speaking to the fears that we experience. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a creative, an athlete, a coach, influencer, whatever it might be, there are particular fears that we bump into on this journey. And it's so important that we know how to be non-reactive so that we can be more conscious in our decision making, so that we're not impulsive and reactive, but we're here fully. We're aware. I find that honoring this practice and doing it as much as you can and allowing yourself to know that you've done the best you can. You've done the best you could do. That's what becomes your guide. That's how you dive into your intuitive compass. That's how you allow yourself to be present in the moment, blending in, being one with the moment. Because when you're one with the moment, you know when to surrender and let go. You know when to step back and put in a bit more control. You know when to take your time so that you're right on time. I encourage you to also join my newsletter, The Enlightened Entrepreneur. This newsletter is a series of inspirational messages that you'll receive 1 to 2 times a week to help you and point you towards the present moment so that you're present on your process. And so that your spiritual journey, your entrepreneur journey, you see that they're one and they're not separate. Encouraging you each and every day to be kinder to yourself, to speak to yourself with upliftment, to honor all that you've done and all of the effort that you have put in to this process that requires your leadership. It requires your attention. It requires your awareness. It requires your compassion and your grace. So, entrepreneur, be kinder to yourself. Set yourself up for the future by being present today. Today is tomorrow. Join beyond the chatter. Honor and have this meditation practice where you are non-reactive, so you can allow yourself to feel more at one, at peace, know when to be in control and when to surrender. And join my newsletter. My name is Morcie. Thank you for being here in this space where we see more together, see beyond what the eyes have seen. Remember to breathe on purpose, lead with your heart, and give thanks to a fresh perspective.